What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB Recap. Today's recap is crazy because, yes, the title is telling the truth. Aaron Judge, he got booed yesterday by his own fans. We'll get to that in a second. Josh Naylor, he is showing that he might be the biggest maniac in all of baseball. He went yard, and then he took his own bat and hit himself with it. We saw one of the craziest home runs of the year, and honestly, of the last few years. Patrick Bailey of the Giants, he went 900 feet, and it went directly into a kayak. And Cody Bellinger, the 420 merchant, yeah, he did it again on 420. All of that and more in today's MLB Recap. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, join the team because we're so close to 500,000. And don't forget, Code Fuzzy on SeatGeek will save you $20 off. And also, Code Fuzzy on Underdog Fantasy will get you a $100 deposit match. Don't miss out. We'll talk about the Yankees game after this one because this was a fun game. The Nationals, they were honoring the 2019 World Series champs. It was cool to see Howie Kendrick, Adam Eaton, and a bunch of the other guys. CJ Abrams, he's insane. He pimped the heck out of that, and good. He has the right to do that. He leads the NL in triples. He also now has 6 home runs. Riley Adams, he got home Washington's second run on a sac fly. In comes my friend Joey Gallo. Kyle Tucker, he ties it. This was later in the 7th. Jeremy Pena, he's been a hit machine. He clutched up. It's now 3-2 Astros. He's hitting 360. Now, shockingly, the reverse has happened this year in 2024. Jeremy has been insane in the box, but his defense has slipped, but he'll be okay. Ryan Presley, he's now in as a closer because Josh Hader, he pitched the game prior, and oh no, he folded again. Jesse Winker with shades of 2021 All-Star Jesse Winker. He shot that back up the middle to tie it at 4. He's now hitting 340 with a mind-bending 455 on base, and he has 2 DRS because of that top 2% arm. You know who else has a rocket arm? Lane Thomas. Altuve was flying home, but it's not fast enough to beat Lane Thomas. Washington, they can walk it off. The outfield was playing in, and Joey Meneses says thank you. The Nationals walk off the Astros 5-4. Not gonna lie to you guys, I thought this was hilarious. The Yankees, they were honoring their radio broadcaster, John Sterling, for 36 years in the booth, and they gave the 85-year-old an 83-inch TV. What is he going to do with that? Anyways, the game itself was a fun pitcher's duel as Zach Eflin and Nasty Nestor, they met up before the game, and they probably made a bet like, hey, if you allow a run first, you have to play MLB The Show 24 on Legend for 3 hours straight. So if that's the case, like, this is now life or death stuff. None of them wanted to do that. Zach Eflin, he went 6 shutout with 6 strikeouts, while Nasty Nestor, he struck out 9 over 7 scoreless. So I guess it was a Cats game. The bet is off because they both came out after allowing a run. By the way, that bet never happened. Just making sure that if you didn't catch the sarcasm, there it is. New York, they nearly got a rally going, but the Wander Franco replacement, Jose Caballero, he continues to show that Tampa Bay made the right choice of trading for Jose Caballero. He was with the Mariners last year. He robs Oswaldo, and then he threw out Volpe to finish the 8th inning. Great defense with elite base running, an extra base hit from time to time. It's still 0-0 in the 9th. Juan Soto, I thought he got it. He barely missed a walk-off home run. Rizzo, same thing. All of that set up Jose Caballero and his moment. He pokes it right past Soto in right field. Palacio, he's going to score. Caballero, he manufactured the next run because he stole 3rd, and he probably doesn't score from 2nd on a Rort Vet blooper, but it's 2-0 Tampa Bay Rays. It could have been 1-0 for all Clevenger cares. He went 1-2-3 in the bottom half of that frame. Probably the worst day of 2024 for the Yankees, especially for Aaron Judge. The 2022 AL MVP and present captain of the Yankees, he was booed heavily because he went 0-4 with 4 strikeouts. I think he's like 2 for his last 20 with 12 strikeouts. Nestor, he said that the fans booing Judge is disappointing. Judge, he said he's heard worse, and also he probably would have booed himself as well. So at least he's self-aware. He's got to pick it up. He sounds a lot like Giancarlo Stanton, who back in the day said, yeah, I probably would have booed as well. Just maybe Yankees fans should take a page out of the Angels or the Phillies fan book because the Phillies cheered on Trey Turner. He's done way better. Rendon, he has a 13-game on-base streak. Make it 14, and oh no, Rendon, he came up limping. No, that's a hammy issue. He's out the game. From April 5th, the day of the standing ovation, to yesterday, he hit 360 with the 415 on base. I hope that he's going to be okay. Neto is the pinch runner. He motors home after Fairchild could not make a play out in center. Sano just hit it way too hard. Drury made it 2-0 on a ground out, but Stewart, he felt bad about not catching that line drive, so he doubled in Spencer Steer. It's 2-1 Angels, and in steps the red-hot Tyler Stevenson. That's the wrong person to have up with the bases loaded. I mean, that's why. That's a grand slam. Back-to-back games with the home run. He has 6 RBIs over the last 24 hours. Fairchild, he tacked on another RBI, and Ellie, he took a walk with the bases loaded. It's 7-2 Reds. Make it 7-4. I haven't been able to say this in a while. Miguel Sano, don't you know? His first big league home run since 2022. He's topped 1% in exit velo, so it was only a matter of time. The Reds win. They've won 2 in a row, and the Angels, they dropped to 3-7 over their last 10. All right. Let's see why Josh Naylor went berserk and hit himself with his own bat. J-Ram, he started off the game with an RBI double. He's up to 18 RBIs. RBIs. Cleveland, they kept peppering that left field line. That ball bounced off the base, and Ramon Laureano, he's actually going to secure an RBI double as well. I thought Ramon was about to add a Spider-Man catch to his day, but that ball leaves. Ryan Noda, he can breathe easier because he's been terrible. That's his first of the year. And then Max Schumann, that's his first big league home run. His family was in attendance. He's hyped up. The score is now tied at 2-2. Cleveland, they're trying to rally in the fifth, but right fielder Tyler Nevin, he was not going to allow that. He slides to rob J-Ram of another RBI. That's okay, though, because Josh Naylor is a maniac. Back-to-back games with a home run. He is on another planet right now. 6 home runs, 17 RBIs, and a 200 OPS plus. He's going crazy. He hit himself with his own bat. He's so funny. Oakland, they got one back on a sac fly, but Josh Naylor clutched up again. The Guardians are the first team in baseball to 15 wins. I'm loving the high exit velocity Guardians. They're finally coming around to modern day baseball. Brandon Marsh is not a maniac like Josh Naylor, but he's been going crazy this year. That's his 5th home run already. He has 50 extra base hits and a 126 OPS plus over his last 152 games. Johan Rojas, there's an RBI single, good for him. Zach Wheeler, he was tossing 0 after 0. Harper made a nice basket catch. That means that Philly starters have gone 29 1/3 without allowing a single earned run to score. Nick Castellanos, he's up with the bases loaded, and let's see what happened. There you go, up the middle for 2 more RBIs. Meanwhile, Wheeler, he was still out there frying on the bump. Not 6 shutout, 6 no-hit innings. Harper, he helped out with the stick. He singled in another for his pitcher using another different bat. Zach Wheeler went out for the 7th. He struck out Vaughn for the 3rd time. He gets Benintendi to fly out, and Sosa, he grounds out. So 7 no-hit innings for Zach Wheeler. Trey Turner ripped a 2-run double, so he has an extra base hit in 7 consecutive games. Wheeler, he wants that no-hitter bad. Fletcher, he lined out to short, and Corey Lee poked it the other way, and it just got through. Wheeler, he's out after 7 1/3 no-hit. Ricardo Pinto, he got destroyed in the 9th, hit after hit, run after run. It's now 9-5, bases loaded. The tying run is at the dish, and Benny does what he always does. He rolls over because he's not very good anymore. They tried, and the Phillies have won 5 in a row. For the first time in Cole Reagan's career as a Royal, he got embarrassed. Urias had an RBI double. McCann singled in another. Alley, there's their 3rd run of the day. Mountcastle, same thing, an RBI single. Santander, he ruined the single streak. That is an RBI double. Jordan Westbrook, he's up for the 2nd time. 2 at-bats in 1 inning. He ends Reagan's night early. A 2-run single makes it a 7 spot, and you just can't afford that. When Corbin Burns is the other pitcher, he was cooking with 5 shutout with a bunch of strikeouts. Now, Corbin did get into some trouble. There's 2 on for Salvi, 2 outs. And Salvi got him. That is a 3-run home run. He's hitting over 340 with 6 home runs. Baltimore's pen, they then imploded. Wild pitches galore. It's now 8-4. Michael Garcia, he lined in another. It's 8-5. Salvi's up with the bases loaded. Could you imagine? Well, I guess we're going to have to keep on imagining. Still a base hit, but a slam would have been so sick. Bobby Witt was at 2nd, so because of his speed, he's going to score. 2 are in. It's now 8-7. Bases are still loaded. Cano got the strikeout. The threat is finally over. Anthony Santander, he kind of took over for the next 15 minutes. He doubled again for an RBI. Then when Craig Kimbrell came in, Bobby, he tried to get another comeback going, but Santander, he flew in to make the grab. Kimbrell, he got Salvi to fly out. Ball game. He's been a monster this year. Talking about Craig Kimbrell, he has 14 strikeouts in 9 innings, and that was save number 422 for his career. That's a lot. 16 runs were scored in that Orioles and Royals game. This next one just barely beat it. 17 runs between the Brewers and the Cardinals. 2 of them came off the bat. Rhys Hoskins, he blasted off for a 2-run moonshot. St. Louis, they got it going with the hit and run. Arenado laced it down the line, and Contreras, he unhooked the trailer. He scores from first. I love hit and runs. Contreras, no, not Wilson, his brother William, he's looking for a grand slam, and it's going to be close, but Michael Ciani, he makes the catch. It's still 2-1 Brewers until St. Louis got 1 on a sac fly, another on a Goldie RBI ground out. So it's actually 3-2 Redbirds, make it 4-2. Again, it's 4-2 after Wilson singled one in, and it's not 4-2 anymore because Bryce Terang has some serious talent. He's hitting .323 with 7 extra base hits and 9 stolen bases. Not as much talent as this guy, though. The kid, he went back-to-back. Jackson Chourio is 20. That's his 4th home run in 17 games. He also took 2 walks in this game, which in my opinion is bigger than the home run. William Contreras, he matched his brother. He had an RBI single the other way. He's up to 20 RBIs on the season. Adames and Hoskins, they added more RBI singles, so it's 8-4 Milwaukee. Some awful St. Louis baseball made it 10-4, but I'm going to have mercy and not show that to Cardinals fans. But I will show the Jackson Chourio RBI. He had a huge 2-hit, 2-walk night. His OPS plus is back over 100. The Brewers wrap up a 12-5 victory. They're 13-6, and they're looking to sweep today. The Brewers are going to be fighting with the Cubs all year long for the NL Central, and the Cubs, they're taking on the lowly Marlins in a doubleheader. So let's see if the Cubs can go 2 for 1, 2 wins in one day. Arise, he rocketed a double to right field Steele, and Jesus Sanchez, he almost got an RBI double, but Canario, he somehow made up for it despite misreading it entirely. Nothing going for either team through 2, and yes, I'm setting up runs being scored in the 3rd. Patrick Wisdom, he's back in the lineup. He jolted a double to deep right. 2 are going to score. It's nice to see him back and healthy. Javier Assad, not Junior Assad. I don't know why I'm calling him Junior Assad this year. Javier Assad, he's got to thank Mother Nature for keeping that ball in. Brian De La Cruz, he has to settle for a sac fly, and he just barely missed it. He knew it too. We fast forward to the 8th. Bases are loaded again. I feel like there's been way more bases loaded opportunities this year than any other. Brujan flies out, so it's still 2-1 Cubs in the 9th. Alzolay, he's trying for a 4-out save. Luis Arias, he singled in the 9th, and Miami, they need their hottest hitter to clutch up. And Brian De La Cruz said, I bet I'm Himothy. He saves his hit streak. He's now at 8 games after that 2-run home run. That's 7 straight games with an extra base hit and an RBI as well. Alzolay, he blows it. Tanner Scott, he also blew it, but he blew it past Canario. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Nico's the last hope, and Tanner Scott, he closes it out. The Marlins, they snatch a W. Good for them. I fully expect the Cubs to get angry and score like 900 runs in this game, really take out their anger on the comeback Marlins. Shota Imanaga, he's on the bump. He gets Josh Bell to look silly. Shota is what we call nasty, like nasty to the second power. Speaking of power, Belly, we know he has a lot of that. Back-to-back years with a home run on 420. I mean, it's not my fault the internet made those memes. Rodri Munoz, he was able to settle down. He's the rookie for the Marlins. He gets Bush for his first career strikeout. And TA7, he's always been elite against lefties. Josh Bell, he got on via an error, so that run scores, but because it was an error, it's an unearned run. The streak continues for Shota, who has not allowed an earned run this year until that one. Jazz, he turned on and pitched for an RBI single. Shota then gave up his first career home run. Josh Bell, he's always been a cheat code against lefties. Like, the Marlins are built very well against left-handed pitching. Shota, he then gets Tim and Jazz to strike out, so his night is over. Rookie Rodri Munoz, he was outdueling Imanaga, but then Alexander Canario made me look dumb for saying that, but that's still a great debut for the rookie. 7 strikeouts, just 1 walk over 5. Miami's bullpen screwed the kid out of a W, back-to-back singles, and then a pass ball. Runners are in scoring position. Michael Bush is up, and he does Michael Bush things. That's a 2 RBI double. Garrett Cooper, he's facing his old team yet again. He gets it past Tim Anderson at shortstop. The Cubs go up 5-3, and Hector Neris, he closes it out. So the Cubs, they pull a Game 1 Miami. They steal a W after being down late in the game. The Mets are still in LA facing off against the Dodgers, and New York, they got it going after Nimmo walked. He stole second. He got to third on a wild pitch, and Lindor, he's waking up against righties. He cracked an RBI double. The Dodgers, they let him get hot. That's a big mistake for the rest of baseball. Freddie Freeman, he's not really been himself to start the year, but that's more like an RBI single up the middle. Jose Budo, he struck out Andy Pajes to end a bases loaded threat, and apparently he wanted to do it again. The bases are loaded, 2 outs in the very next frame, and he strikes out Teoscar Hernandez. You won't believe how many stranded runners the Dodgers had in this game. Wait for it. Starling Marte line one to center for his 5th RBI over his last 3 games. Muncy, he then immediately tied it. But Marte, he wanted 8 RBIs over his last 3 games. He hit 5 home runs in 86 games last year. He has 4 already. He also has 5 stolen bases, despite the fact that he's bottom 12% in speed now. New York, they let the Dodgers get another bases loaded opportunity. Freddie caught up to 95 up. He drops in a 2-run single, making it 5-4. And then Lindor gets one right back, his 2nd RBI of the night. There's no way. The bases are loaded again for the Dodgers. New York, they had to deploy Sugar Edwin Diaz. He strikes out Teoscar Hernandez. A very rough game for Teoscar. Max Muncy, he's going to try to no avail. The off speed is just too nasty. That is another bases loaded opportunity wasted by the Dodgers. Diaz, he's not going to be in for the 9th. Reed Garrett is going to be the guy, but Edwin Diaz, Reed Garrett, same thing. Reed struck out the side. He has 21 strikeouts in 10 1/3. No runs allowed, so that's a 0 ERA and a 17.7 strikeouts per 9. The Mets, they won 6 in a row. The Phillies, they won 5 in a row, like we talked about. So the Dodgers have now lost 3 in a row, but like the Padres are also on a 3-game losing streak, so it balances out. And usually I don't spoil scores, but you knew it was going to be a long day after that error. 2 are now on for Dalton Varsho, 2 outs, and you just can't do that to a guy like Varsho who's been seeing beach balls lately. Everything has been hit hard by this guy. He's one of my favorite players in baseball because he can hit 20 home runs, steal 20 bases, save 20 runs defensively as an outfielder, and also he can play catcher as well. He's hitting .360 with 5 home runs, 11 RBIs, 2 stolen bases the last 8 games. Barrios, he got himself in trouble, but he struck out Profar. Honestly, a super close pitch. It's too close to take. Profar, he tosses the bat. The umpire said, okay, I'll let that slide. And he says, I'm not going to let that one slide. Profar gets tossed after he tossed the helmet, and then manager Mike Schilt got his money's worth. IKF scored on a wild pitch. It's 4-0 Jays, and Tatis, he sends one deep. I lied to you all. The Padres, they're going to make a comeback. JK, I lied again. That ball's caught by Springer. And then Varsho, he made a nice grab to get Berrios to 21 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. I love that little comeback story. He had a 5.5 ERA in 2022. He has a 3.2 ERA ever since. The Padres got one across, so it's 4-1. Kim found a hole, so Azokar's blazing speed is going to get an RBI for Kim. Running on Kiermaier is always scary, but he risked it, and it was worth it. Ernie Clement, he's having a sneaky little great start to the year. He got that run right back. He's hitting 295 with insane defense, and also he somehow got faster. He's now top 7% in speed as Romano got his second save. The Padres, like I said, they've lost 3 in a row. So we saw Philly win their 5th in a row. The Mets have won 6 straight. The Braves, they're on a streak as well. They're trying to go for 5 in a row. Ronald, he stole third base. He's already up to 189 stolen bases for his career. He could easily go 400 in his career. That's 400 home runs, 400 stolen bases. No damage, though. A scoreless first for both. It's not scoreless anymore. Josh Smith with the excuse me swing. Every single time he puts it in play, it seems like it's landing for a base hit. He gets a check swing RBI. Morton, he makes a nice play, but a run still scores. And I didn't know that Nathaniel Lowe was back in the lineup. He's trotting home. His first game back off the IL, I guess. Luis Guillorme, he got the scoring started for the Atlanta Braves. He's such an old school type player. No gloves, contact first, really good defense. Ronald, he got hit on the hand, but I think he's okay. Michael Harris is one of the most underrated players in baseball, despite the fact that he is talked about a lot, but he's still underrated in my opinion. Michael ties it, and then Matt Olson puts the Braves up 1 after a sac fly, his 13th RBI of the year. And Travis d'Arnaud did it again. His 4th home run in the last 24 hours. He hit 220 with an 82 OPS plus in 2023. So another little nice comeback story. Travis, he's been raking the last week. The Braves win their 5th in a row, and the Mariners are trying for their 4th win in a row. I cannot believe that they're even playing baseball here. It's snowing like crazy. They got it all kind of cleaned up, and that's such a flex. Cal Raleigh is so strong. He can still hit a home run when it's like 30 degrees out. He tacked on an RBI single later on in the game, and J-Rod, he added to it. It's 3-0, and the rookie Jonathan Clase stepped up with the bases loaded. There you go. It's an RBI single. Oh no, it got past Bouchard. That's the wrong person to miss it against because Clase has 80 grade speed. He had 79 stolen bases last year. He's trying for home, and he's barely out. He cannot get his hand in there. It's 6-0 Mariners. Make it 7-0. Sometimes you just have to face a bad team to break out of slumps. J-Rod with the second RBI knock. All while Luis Castillo was showing off his filthy stuff on the bump. 2 base hits over 7 shutout, and he racked up a season-high 9 punch-outs. The Mariners, they're back to 500. They do win their 4th game in a row. The Pirates are trying to avoid losing their 5th game in a row. What the heck happened? I mean, Jarren Duran happened here. His 2nd triple of the week. He's got an insane 52 extra base hits and 31 stolen bases over his last 124 games. Duran scores on a weird hit. Wilyer Abreu tapped it, and Cabray must have thought it was going to go foul. It did not. Boston, they got another run on a ground out. Something happened to Tristan Casas' rib area. I don't know what happened, but he was replaced by Bobby Dahlback. Hayes, he got a double to barely stay fair, and Cutter Crawford, he finally showed that he's human. Jared Triolo plates Cabray and Hayes. Pittsburgh finally cracked the code a little bit. It's 2-1 now, and it's back to a 2-run lead for the Boston. Wait, it's a 3-run lead because there was a runner on. That is a 2-run home run for Masataka Yoshida. Cutter Crawford, he was sick again. 6 innings with 6 strikeouts. He has a 0.66 ERA and a 10 strikeouts per 9 through 27 innings. My editor, Pesky Talk, he was so right. He helped me see the light. We chose him in the offseason as the breakout player for the Boston Red Sox. He might be the pitcher of the month right now, him and Jose Barrios. Connor Joe hit a home run off the Boston bullpen, and then the umpires took over. That was an awful strike call, and then he rung up Taylor on a pitch clock violation. Manager for the Pirates, Shelton, he got tossed, and it's just been a rough last week for the Pirates. Jansen, he got the save. He struck out the side, actually. He's up to 425 saves, so he's 3 ahead of Craig Kimbrell. That's going to be a fun battle for the rest of the year. Craig Kimbrell versus Jansen. Pittsburgh loses their 5th in a row, and the Twins, they're trying to avoid losing their 6th in a row. Buxton, he's on 2nd. He's now on 3rd. He's still lightning quick, so he can get to 3rd base on a perfect bounce back to the catcher. Willie Castro, he sent one to shallow left, but that's a sick play. Riley Green, he's looking like Superman out there. Buxton, he still scores on the sac fly. Jeffers made it 2-0 on a sac fly of his own. Minnesota, they're going to extend their... Wait, no, they're not. They did not extend their lead. El Mago is El Magoing. He really is a wizard. How he dives. He shovels it to 2nd. That's a double play. He was going for another web gem, but Torkelson kind of screwed him. In my opinion, you just got to pick that, but then again, I'm saying that as I'm sitting at my desk watching. I know it's not that easy. The ball gets away. Austin Martin ends up at 2nd, and that's bad. That's for sure got to get caught. Torkelson has been awful all the way around this year. It's 3-0 3-0 Twins. It's now 4-0 after Larnach skied another sac fly for Minnesota. Twins starter Bailey Ober, he was fantastic again. Same stat line as Cutter Crawford, 6 strikeouts over 6 innings. He allowed 8 runs in his first start. He's allowed 2 earned runs combined over his last 3. He only allowed 2 base hits in this one, but the second one was an RBI to Wencel Perez. And then Javi made it closer with an RBI double. Now it's very close. Kerry Carpenter flat out rakes. He made it a 1-run game. Minnesota, they're trying to add some insurance runs, but in flies Wencel Perez. This kid has had his fingerprints on a bunch of games lately. He's all over the place. He robs Minnesota of more runs, so it's 4-3 for Griffin Jax in the 9th. I thought Parker Meadows crushed that ball, but you got to eat them Wheaties. Hit the weight room. No, the Twins will not be losing 6 in a row. We've already seen the Padres and the Dodgers lose, so if the Diamondbacks lose, they'll be tied for second base at 1.5 games back of the Padres and Dodgers. They'll be tied with the Giants. Christian Walker shot one past Lamont Wade Jr. at first base for an RBI single. Jung-Hoo Lee hit one past everyone. He's got insanely fast hands. He ties it on one swing. Arizona, they took the lead back on a Wilmer Flores sac fly. Corbin made a nice sliding grab, but then tried to be cool and get it to the relay guy, and it didn't look very cool at that point, and a run scored very, very easily. I don't know. That was funny. Corbin's going to try for another diving play, but he couldn't get there. Patrick Bailey, he extends the Giants lead to 3-1. Blaze Alexander, of course, he came up huge on 420. You love to see it. That's an RBI double, and we are tied again. Kevin Newman, he does his thing, and in steps Patrick Bailey, who's already 2 for 2 with an RBI, and by the way, it's his own bobblehead game. He just went 900 feet. No joke. He went to the water in the air, and it went directly into a kayak. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Maybe Barry Bonds did that once or twice, but, I mean, that was so much fun. Jung-Hoo Lee, he smoked an RBI double, his second RBI extra base hit of the game. He's looking really, really good. Conforto, he brought home the game's final run. That is a big W for the Giants. It's kind of the first time in weeks that they've really embarrassed the team. Guys, that does it for today's recap. Thank you all so much for watching. I know that was not my best recap in terms of like commentary. I am absolutely exhausted, but the show must go on. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy the web gems.
As this one is hooked up the middle, Wynn dives, gloves, grabs, fires, and got him!
Popped up, shallow center, Kiermaier.
And a ground ball up the middle, and that is grabbed by Trejo. Throw to first base.
Baez pulls it to second, diving stop by Gavin Lux.
To left field airborne, Mabreu coming in, and he will dive, and he will hang on and